Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to do a little review on, this is the N7. It's not the M8, but it's the HTC ONE M7. If you're wondering what that ring is, I got Photo Jojo lenses, and yes, I have pasted that on, and I love what the lenses can do, so if you don't like that, that's fine. Anyways, so what I am doing today is showing Sense 6. Yep. So this is the all-new Sense 6 running on the HTC ONE 2013 version, M7, whatnot. It is a modified version made for the One. As you can see right off the bat, you don't have the buttons down below. I'll just open this up so you can confirm. No buttons below, so they've remapped the screen so it goes back to the home and back button that are here on the hardware keys. So you don't have the extra space wasted without needing it. If you want them, there is a way to do something in the script when installing or somewhere else to bring them back if you want them. I don't know why you would, but anyways, moving on. So I'll start here with the home screen. Now, there are no gesture features. So as you can see, it doesn't respond, no swipes, doesn't have that tilt camera because, as far as I understand, that's all hardware specific for the M8, so you would have to have an M8 to make that work. This is not, so it's not going to work, but it does double tap for turning off, so that part works. So while the screen or the device is awake, it'll respond to those features. So moving on to the home screen, nice thing right off the bat is the ability to choose how you want to unlock it. So if you pull straight up, it's just going to unlock to whatever your last thing was open when you turn it off. So for instance, I will go to weather, shut it off, bring it back on, and it goes back to the weather. But if I shut it off and I say I want to check my blink feed right away, turn it on and swipe over, brings it to blink feed. So if you noticed, when you're on there, that's the new blink feed icon, and that is your home screen or your main screen icon. So you have three options, which would be go to the last app opened by swiping up, go to blink feed swiping to the right, or go to your home screen or your app home screen by swiping to the left. So that's a nice little addition. You get three little options there. You also have the new pull-down menu for notifications like calendar events and various other things that'll pop up, I think, like calls, alarms, and things like that. I haven't been using this too much, and I'm not using a SIM. I got a SIM in a different device, so I don't get the full functions on that. But it's a nice upgrade, I think, because before you would swipe to the side to bring over other windows, kind of like the traditional AOSP style where you'd have like a calendar or you can put your camera in there and things like that. So the way HTC does it, you can either swipe up or you can swipe up on the set four icons you have on the bottom here. So if I want to open my camera, I'll just swipe the camera and it opens that. Or if I want to go to my mail, swipe the mail, and so on. So, and you can customize what you want those to do. So let's go to some of the improvements or changes depending on how you want to look at it from Sense 5.5 to Sense 6.0. So right off the bat, you'll notice, which I'm sure if you've been following any of the M8 stuff, is the coloring. It's no longer solid black. It does have some interesting theme colors, which you can change. There are several different themes, or a few different themes. Hopefully they allow us to change those in a future update, add more themes, or allow us to pick the colors at will. I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not. I'm sure they have some sort of method. So far, what I see is that the theme colors on the apps match more or less what the wallpaper is attached to that theme, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this is the blink feed. Pretty much the same stuff overall, the same principle, but it's been refined. One thing it does is it'll just keep scrolling like that if you give it a nice little flick. So it's got a nice little smooth continuation thing there, as opposed to just a snap to the next screen. If you notice, they don't bend or anything like that. So it's more of a flat, simple look to it. You still have the option, or you can just pull from the side for choosing individual things. So if I want to see only my G Plus stuff, or if I only want to see Facebook, Twitter, and so on, click on those and it'll only show me those in the feed, or I can have the full highlights. Plus you have all the extra stuff that you can add, just like in the previous Blink feed. But the nice thing is now there's more developer stuff being allowed. So for instance, with Foursquare, they've partnered up with Foursquare, and Foursquare is nice if you use it when you go out traveling and stuff. Blink feed will now, or Foursquare will now show you local restaurants and stuff like that according to your location. So I was out the other day and it popped up some local deli that was nearby, which was kind of cool. I've never heard of the place and saw that there. I'm like, oh, that actually looks like a cool place. So that's a nice little feature. There's probably going to be a lot more of that popping up in the future here, because that's what HTC wants to do, get more content flowing to you. So this is nice. Weather app keeps same green theme compared to, or going along with the Blink feed. I guess that's your like news color, information color. I'll show you in a minute why I'm describing the colors. Overall, the app looks the same. I don't notice anything yet different in the weather app. So, you know, maybe a couple little text and shape differences, but overall it's relatively the same feature there. So no huge change there. Same thing with the clock, more or less the same kind of features, different color scheme, and that's about it. Okay, so jumping into the calendar, you got a little bit more colorful representation of things going on. When you go into your agenda, actually this is looking the same. It's kind of interesting, because when I go to an actual event, that's when the colors start popping up. So I don't know, this could be the ROM specific. Like I said, this is a custom ROM. This isn't stock, so I'm not showing you exactly what the HTC M8 is going to look like. This is just the specific one. But if you notice now, it's a new color. So what they're doing with these color themes is kind of customizing them depending on what you have open. So here in music, you got the red or orange. And I'll go to the themes to kind of show you what's going on there. So let's go into settings and personalize. And then you have down here is themes. So what they're doing, there's 4 themes, 3 actual color themes, and then like a monochromatic one. So it's all gray and black. But if you notice, the colors somewhat go along with the wallpaper that they have matched to it. So you got a lot of oranges and reds in this one. This one here is, you got your greens and blue with the contrasting orange, and then your purples and whatnot on that one. So hopefully they like I said, they add more, or they give us the ability to change and make our own custom color schemes. That would be nice. Not sure what you know their opinion is on that, if they're gonna do it or not. Probably it would make sense for them to add more, but who knows. Maybe some devs will be able to make some better themes with that too. But that's more or less what you're doing. So if you want to use more of an orangey theme, you go that, you hit apply. Yeah, it's going to change everything. And so there it goes. It puts in my new wallpaper, new color schemes. Now you can see my Blink feed is orange instead of the green. And then when I go into an event, now that's also orange. Go back over to music. Where's the music app? Now it's pink or red. So that's more or less what the color scheme is about. Even in here, it changes up the colors. So as you can see there, all those different colors are different. So that's what the themes do. So the colors are kind of neat. It does spice it up a little bit. I don't know if you can see them there, but even these are different colors. It does kind of give a little bit of a different feel to the device, so you make it a little bit more personal. I like blues and greens, so I like to keep it on that one. I'll put it back to that. Let me show you some things on it that are specific to this ROM. So first, let me show you what the ROM is. Go down and about. And this is the Elegancia Sense 6 1.0.0. So this is the first version of it. Sadly, from what I've read lately, is there's some personal stuff going on, so this developer is going to have to put a halt on doing much more of this. The nice thing is that this ROM is pretty solid as it stands, so It's not a huge letdown, you know. Hopefully everything goes well with whatever personal issues are going on. He sorts that out. But as it stands, it's a nice ROM. I don't have any glitch issues. There are a couple bugs which are seeming to be specific across the board. A lot of the other ROMs, there's at least 3 or 4 of them out there now. They all seem to have the same kind of complaints and stuff, so I'm sure that will get ironed out. But as you see, 442 Android, 60 cents. There's the base kernel information if you want to see that. Jump back out because that's not what I'm here to talk about. Let's get into some of the personalization features that this developer has added. So you have these 2 main features that I use. I haven't actually dove into the app ops yet, but let's just get into this control. And this gives you a lot of fun system UI tweaks. So you can change, like right now I have how much data I'm currently using. So it kind of tracks down when things are going on. It'll let you know how many bytes or kilobits and whatnot. You can turn off or on the icons up here. So if I don't want the Bluetooth icon to show when it's on, I can turn that off. Some of these require you to do a reboot on the device to enable. Some of them don't. That's all specific. It will tell you, a little emblem will pop up. Let's see, like traffic monitor. Doesn't need the reboot to do, but if you want to turn off your volume, that little thing pops up, and that does need a reboot to change. So that's that. So there's other things that you can change to the UI. You also have button tweaks, so you can change the light level of your capacitive buttons and how those work, what long press buttons do, and so on, and then other various tweaks. So that's nice, really nice, easy to control, easy to customize right in the device. And then one of my favorite things now is the Pi controls. If you're not familiar with what Pi controls are, it is this option. So it's a really useful thing that you have tons of customize or control over. Right now I just have a couple apps put in there. I got my search, gallery, and my file explorer, which is pretty much the primary things I'm hitting all the time, so it made sense to get that. And a really fun thing with this is, if you notice, it looks like I'm pressing on the HTC as my button. Well, it's actually mapped right along the edge there on the bottom. You can also map it to the sides if you want to touch the side for it to come up. But I think this is great because it now simulates as though there's a function to the HTC logo, and that pops up a little pie chart or pie action there. So I just hit it, swipe up, and I'm in my gallery. So that's a really fun little setup there. Go into File Explorer and whatnot. I'm going to do a quick search, do it that way. Of course, you can still do the home key stuff if you want to map it differently. So that right there gives this function a great value because you can do your search, and if you use any of these other type of things where the home long press brings something different, you can map that too. So yeah, that's one of the great features that I think this dev has done, and I hope most others do, or I know you can get the app separately and install it and get it to work, but that was a favorite feature of mine. Another nice thing is when you pull down the single finger, you get the buttons up here. So for instance, I use the flashlight app a lot at night, and instead of having to open the app, it's directly on there. So again, if you're familiar with rooting and putting custom ROMs, and you're familiar with these type of features, if it's your first time seeing a custom ROM on something and you're thinking about rooting, or you're new to rooting, these are the cool features that make rooting such a luxury and makes it really valuable to do. Rooting is getting much easier and all that stuff. So for anybody of you that is new to doing it, these are the type of luxuries that you get. If anybody asks, why would you want to root? What's the point? I don't do that stuff. This is the point. This type of customization is the point. So other than that, everything else is pretty stock standard from the HTC Sense 6.0. Oh, including the camera. I'll show you that. So as you can see, if you're familiar with the previous version, the layout is very different. And you got all sorts of fun new things. My favorite is the Pan 360. This is basically like the Google Photosphere setup, and So far, the images that I've made do work on Google+. So if you do a photosphere and you want to share it, it does work. It does relate to a photosphere on Google+, so people can see it without needing the phone. But this one I think HTC did great with, because they've did it a little bit different than the way Google setup is. If you notice, there's the square. So just like with Google+, you do have to line up and get things going. But once it's lined up, if you turn your device, if you notice, see the square isn't lined up. So even if you're just slightly off, it's not doing it. Whereas I noticed when I had the other version, the Google Play Edition, on the on this device, you know, kind of made to work on the device, it did okay with the photospheres. But if you tilt the device a little bit, it didn't seem to know that. And so I would be, you know, going and I turn and I'm stepping now at an angle because I'm on uneven ground and I'm taking pictures sideways. Well, that would just kind of just skew everything. So this setup, I've noticed, really helps you line up your shots a lot better than before. And here you're getting to see my crazy messy desk. But if you notice also, see how it holds on to the view, and then you also get this little grid here that shows you where you're at in the picture and let you know if you've missed any spots. So that has been a really nice addition and kind of upgrade to the photosphere tech version. So far I like this one better. Also, when you render it, it automatically goes into compass or touch mode. You don't have to switch back and forth. So that's a nice little feature. Let's see if I can get to one pretty quickly here. Yeah, perfect, there's one. So I'll just get, oops, that's the wrong thing. Get outside, tap on it, starts rendering, and so anything, just like in Photosphere, anything that's really close to you, which I was standing right next to this pole, still going to have an issue. I can't remember the distance, but I think anything 10 feet and away is the best way to do it. But as you can see, it automatically goes into this mode where you can just pan around, and I mean, it is fluid. The Google Photosphere, my experience, has never been this fluid. So as you can see, sorry, I'm hoping I'm not making you too dizzy, but I mean, look how fast and responsive that is. And that was never like that with the Google Play version that I was using. So I had the full stock 100% non-rooted Google Play edition on this device for a little while to try that out, and it was not this smooth. I mean, that is unusually fast in my opinion. I've never experienced the sensor on this, the gyro sensor, to be that responsive. This is the most responsive I've ever seen it. I mean, as you can see, it moves all around, and so it's really fun because it's like virtual tourism. You can go and take pictures, or you got friends that have the same ROM and they can mail them over to you, and now you got virtual tour of their area, which, you know, obviously if you know about Photosphere, that's what it's all about. But I don't know, this is just much better in my opinion. So I'm really excited to actually get my hands on a real M8 and give it a whirl, because if it's already this nice on a hacked version, you know, in a sense, of a customized version to work on a device that it wasn't originally made for yet, that to me is pretty impressive, and that's a good sign of what to expect with the M8. So enough of that. I'm just excited about having that. That's a feature I've been wanting and asking HTC for quite a while, and they finally came through with it. Other little things, people, more or less the same stuff. You got that color theming, of course, going on. The dialer is updated, a little bit more clean looking. Recent call history, all that stuff, that's all the same. Though, overall, is mostly quick little tweaks and things. As you can see, I have tons of apps showing. That's another dev modification. Normally, you're going to have the 3.4, which is stock when you first turn, or the 4.5. It's normal. So that's all relative the same. You have a new feature. When you're in your recent apps tab, you now have a tab up here that'll take you to your running services. So you can kill out running services if you want that aren't showing up on your running recent apps. So you can just flick these away. That's a little new. What else? Not a whole lot extra. a lot of the things in the background that I can't really show, but it does feel more responsive. Things seem to work better. Battery life is better. That could again be dev tweaks. I know there was some UI and overclocking, what do they call it? Undervolting and whatnot to get things running better. Oh, cool little feature. When it gets past a certain time, this will turn black, so it like changes with the day. So during the day it's light, at night it turns black, which is, I don't know, unnecessary, but a great little feature just because it's this tiny attention to details that HTC puts into their overlay. Oh, some more features in the gallery. On the timeline event, or timeline section, it's really nice because you can now pinch and zoom out by date, by month, by year, and so you get all of your photos for that year. I'm sure if you had more years, then it'd be easy to scroll through. And then you zoom all the way in, and it takes you to your location of photos. Highlights. This is one of the glitches, which I've seen a lot of people complaining about with the other ROMs. When you're in highlight videos, you know, to do your custom highlight video thing, when you're in themes, it doesn't matter which one you pick, it keeps reverting back to clean. So don't know what that's all about, but I have seen a lot of people talking about that in multiple ROMs. So that's that. Text app, got the theme again. You can customize stuff just like you could before. So you got your where's your background and so on. You can change your backgrounds on there to whatever image you want. Your color schemes for your different texts and stuff, so when you send a text it'll have different color schemes. That's pretty much the same, tiny little bits of enhancements there. So other than that, it's all internal software, or sorry, hardware functions that really make the M8 very different from the M7. Of course, the new styling, bigger screen, and all that different stuff. Different cameras. That's the one thing I'm waiting to really test out to see what that new camera setup is all about. But other than that, yeah, this is the HTC One 2013 or M7 version, however you want to say it. It's the original with the new software on it. So hopefully I didn't bore you too much and you were able to get a little glimpse of what to expect if you want to do some rooting. If it's your first time, like I said, it's definitely worth it. The HTC One is relatively easy to go through. XDA has an amazing community that will pretty much all the information you need is already written down, but a lot of helpful people out there if you have questions. Just be nice and they will be nice to you. But yeah, check them out. If you're thinking of rooting for the first time and you want to take the dive, this is a great time to do it because you can get the new software if you're not able to purchase the new phone yet, and give it a shot. Lots of cool, fun stuff. So anyways, I'm going to cut this off now because I'm already rambling on too long. If you have any questions, definitely give me some comments down below. Let me know anything you want to know about it. I'll try to help you or answer your questions as best as I possibly can. I'm not going to tell you how to root devices, and I'm not going to do all that. I am going to give you the pointer. Do lots of research. If it's your first time, read. You have to read up on all of this stuff. If you've never rooted before, you can ruin your device. So I take no responsibilities if you do anything wrong to your device. But honestly, just read through everything. It's not as hard as it seems. And it's definitely worth the little bits of effort. Give yourself lots of time and a full battery charge. Very, very common problems. And learn what a NAND backup is. You want to back up your original stuff before you do anything. So a couple little pointers. But anyways, questions down below. Let me know. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you like what you saw. I know this one is a little bit different than what I normally do, but it's just a whole bunch of rambling. I was excited to show this off. Wanted to let anybody else see it that might be interested. But hit that like, subscribe. I'm going to be trying to do some more structured videos, and if you check out my other stuff, you'll see I have the HTC One Max, and I do a couple little tutorials on how to do stuff with that thing. I'm also working on doing different Tasker tutorials. So overall, as I get new stuff, as I find out new things, I will share it with my subscribers. So definitely give me a subscribe. Anyways, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and talk to you later.